Bob, did you catch the interview, and did it inspire any confidence just to hear from Mr. Culp 6 weeks on the job, not being shy about what some of the big problems are and the fact that issues like power have yet to bottom?
Sarah, I thought he did a very good job, and I especially thought that David had a great interview. It's a very difficult thing to pull off, and I can make a lot of comments on this if you want. I'd be happy to.
Yeah, that's why we have you on. What about some of the cash and liquidity concerns, Bob?
Well, I mean, liquidity is he's downplaying it, and I'm not sure that it's there. Let me talk to you about liquidity, though. This is something that he's not well. He doesn't want to talk about what happened, but in the last 2 years, in 16 and 18, 16 and 17, that GE made decisions that, in hindsight, were wrong. The power purchase at $23 billion. I'm using 23 because they just took a write-off for that. They bought back stock in 16 and 17 for $26 billion, and they spent $4 billion to create an industrial software, which apparently isn't worth hardly anything. So that's $53 billion. If they had taken that, if somebody was watching the balance sheet better, and I think Trion has to look into this. If they had taken that, they could have put $20 billion into the pension fund, which is underfunded. They could have put $15 million into the long-term care by buying reinsurance. I'm not so sure that what the price would be, but I'm guessing at that point in time, they could have bought a reinsurance policy to cover the whole thing for about $15 billion. That would have left them with $18 billion, and that's exactly the situation that Larry Culp is now trying to get. He needs to get leverage down, and he wants to use some of his equity to bring cash in, and that's a good idea. But he has to be careful because there's a lot of bond constraints because of outstanding debt. But he's clearly got a handle on what needs to be done from a performance standpoint. But it's just so sad what happened in those 2 years, 16 to 17. It's really hard to understand how that could have happened.
But Bob, is your point then that overextended buybacks were the culprit? That's why we're here?
Well, I'm saying that was $26 billion. The buyouts were between $30 and $22 a share. And at the same time, who was minding the balance sheet? And then they bought power. They bought that power. It's $23 billion. And then they were simultaneously creating this software system, industrial software system, which Flannery said is basically not worth anything at the present time. That's $53 billion. And that's all happened in a period, of 2.5 years. So that's what he's inherited, Culp. And I think he looked pretty good. He looked like he was really up for the task, and it is a task, and you're going to be fighting a lot of issues and trying to clear the accounts of GE Capital. That insurance was on the GE Capital side. That could have been done years ago, but nobody wanted to pay the reinsurance cost. But it certainly could have been done between 16 and 17.